Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. You might notice a little bit of an odd tint, a yellowish tint almost on the, I don't know why, at least that's what it looks like to me. I'm shooting this on my main phone right now. It's the one that I use for daily purpose. It's my iQOO 9T. I've never noticed it in the night. I guess I've never actually shot myself in the night time. I usually shoot my video reviews on this, which is a Oppo F11 Pro. I don't have any charge on it and can't be bothered to go and wait for it to get charged and then shoot it. I want to get done as quickly as possible and then go to sleep. It's not that late, it's just about 9:15 p.m. Sorry, 10:15 p.m. Anyway, enough about that. We're here to talk about Daylight. So Daylight is a 1996 Sylvester Stallone movie, and I don't know, I might be wrong, but I think this is probably his best acted movie, because he isn't really playing the usual Stallone characters. Like, he's not Rocky, he's not Rambo, and he's not anyone like that. He is a guy trying to do his job, and therefore I kind of think I like this movie a lot. By the way, I've seen it maybe like 3 or 4 times. Watched it on cable a couple of times, and I think this is my 4th time watching it on a streaming service. So it's just something which I really like, and I don't know, tell me if you agree, if you've seen this movie compared to his other movies. I like Rocky, I like all the other stuff, but Rambo, the First Blood one especially. But for me, this somehow sits really high. So along with Stallone, you've got Amy Brenneman, Viggo Mortensen. I almost didn't recognize him until the previous time that I watched this movie, which probably is the first time I watched this movie, which was probably the first time that I watched this movie after the Lord of the Rings trilogy came out. So he is in it. It's got a small role. Dan Hedaya, Stan Shaw, Jay Saunders, Karen Young, and Daniel Harris. So basically, there's this side scheme going on where a waste management firm, they try to sneak out these barrels of toxic waste from New York City upstate New York, to dispose them off at a site in New Jersey. So it's not properly done. It's against the law. So they are giving money to get it done. And unfortunately, there's an accident because some thieves who steal some gems, they crash into it and it explodes, bringing down the I don't know what tunnel it is. It's a tunnel that's beneath the Hudson River. So it is beneath the Hudson River. Yeah. So that's basically what happens. There's a chase scene. There's cops. There's a lot of people going through and all that, and they need to dig themselves out of the tunnel. The destruction is devastating. A lot of people are burnt. A lot of people are killed. The tunnel entrance caves in, and they have to make their way away from it and try to get off because the tunnel is gonna fill up with water. So currently, former New York City Emergency Medical Services Chief, try saying that a few times, Kit Latura, that's Sylvester Stallone's character, he was fired from his job because of something controversial. He is now working as a taxi driver, so he witnesses it happening, and his instincts kicks in. He wants to go and help him. So he sees some of his emergency people as well. He illegally goes into their offices where he's not really wanted, but everybody knows that he is kind of the expert. He knows his place in and out. He knows a lot of the workings and all that. So he makes his way into the tunnel through a ventilation system. With their help, there's these massive fans that's in the tunnel, leading into it, and they have to stop it temporarily so that he can go through, risking his own life. And there's a group of survivors who are banding together to try and get themselves to safety. They join this guy called Roy Nord, played by Viggo Mortensen, who is a sporting goods retailer, and he's also an athlete. So unfortunately, he says he can try to make his way through. A very risky maneuver, but he gets killed. And so there's a lot of these people now have to go to Kit or Latura and try and get their way through. There's also some prisoners who are being transported. They're also in this. Danielle Harris plays this 14 or 15-year-old girl whose parents are taking her on a vacation. There's a little bit of tension there because the father had previously cheated on his wife. So all that is going on. And there's Amy Brenneman's character, who's a failed. She was a screenwriter who's struggling in New York, lives in an absolute dump where there's cockroaches and rats. I actually thought it was a funny scene when she pulls out the drawer, trying to take her clothes, and she's planning to leave, and there's a rat, surprised, like, hey, where the heck are you opening this cupboard, this drawer for? So not a skill, they're actually getting through. There's a little sad thing about there's a lady who's elderly woman. She and her husband, they've got their beloved dog with them, and she basically dies there because of hypothermia. She quietly passes away. They don't even realize that she's actually dead. The dog manages to escape and come back to them. And there's this police officer named George Terrell. He's planning to actually. That was also very sad. This movie kind of is kind of sad in a lot of places. Obviously, it's a disaster happening. He was planning to, propose to his girlfriend. He's got her bracelet with him because she spent the night with him. So he is planning to return it to her. And he is injured, and then he has to be left behind because he cannot walk, he cannot move. They can't carry him, so they have to leave him behind, and he is going to drown. And he gives Kit the girlfriend's bracelet, and he says, please get them all to safety, get them to daylight. That's why the name of the movie is. They finally reach this place, and the place is flooding in. They're trying to get out, and the elderly person, his name is Roger. He's a very familiar face. Roger is played by who is that, by the way? I've seen him in a few television shows. Colin Fox, I think he's Canadian. Yeah, he's a Canadian actor. Elderly person is just 1 year older than my dad. So he plays the grieving husband whose wife has just passed away while they were because of hypothermia. Sorry, that's my phone ringing. And finally, they're able to escape. But there's a little bit of a very, very Amy Brenneman really pulls it off. There's a time when a bit of the place collapses while she's trying to help Kit, and she and Kit are stuck. The stairs have collapsed, so Kit has got no option but to tell the others to move on. But her name is Madeline, and she's completely devastated. She's screaming I wouldn't leave you guys behind and all that, but they managed to cause an explosion, cause a blowout, so the tunnel roof is pulled out, and they get blown out into the sea. I think it is a sea, yes, and or the river, whatever river it is. And finally, Maddie, and she's able to save him as well. They are pushed out into the surface, and she managed to get Kit pulled up. They are rescued by by a boat, and there's some. I think they knew that was the idea, that they would actually try and do that. So they're taking him. He's shivering like that. All the others are really happy to see him. The other survivors, as he's being taken to the hospital, Maddie decides, possibly a little romance going on towards the end. She decides she wants to go along with him as well. And Kit does give the bracelet to the girlfriend of the cop. So George, that's the cop's name. By the way, George is played by, let's see, that guy really did a good acting job. Who plays Officer Terrell? Mikey. Huh? Can't see his name. Oh yeah, Stan Shaw. That's his name. He was the transit cop. So yeah, I think it was really well done. I'm really like the feeling of claustrophobia going through it was, and I'm somebody who has got claustrophobia, so I wouldn't survive, man. And I also got breathing problems. So the movie was made, I think it was a smaller budget movie. Oh no, it was actually made on a budget of 80 million. It made 159.2 million at the box office. I actually think it should have done better because, but I think it's a very low key film, even for a Stallone movie. So, reception wise, it didn't get much either. And I think everybody appreciates Stallone's acting in this movie, his performance. But overall, I think the movie did not do that great. I do love this movie. I think it's one of his best, if not his best. I'm actually leaning towards his best acting. And I would like to recommend this movie. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Thank you.